I shouldn't be live, but I am. I'm eating Tootsies. With the mushrooms in between. Oh. So I was watching Osmond Gold. I'm far too early for me, actually. I don't know. It's like I tasted them before. You know what I mean? Oh. Do you want some? Oh. I don't know. No. You know, I'll get back to you tomorrow. I'll explain this wild and clear that you, my dear, are very welcome in this space with me, and I thank you. And I worship you, and I say, this is the day that I make you. Let's do that. No. Oh, no, darling. No, darling, this is not interesting. It's not interesting. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? It's not interesting. Let's just do something that's interesting. Yes? Oh, this is very interesting, don't you think? Yeah, this is fucking interesting. So, want something interesting? Let's do something.
All right, you guys, happy Monday to everyone except House and Habit, aka Jessica Reed Krause. She's a blogger, and she went on a rant last night. And finally, after 3 months of teasing, she revealed my deep, dark family secret. And I'm feeling very exposed at the moment, so we're going to talk about that. Also, Emmanuel Macron is back in Washington, D.C., and everybody's thinking the same thing, okay? I'm not going to say it, but you're thinking it, I'm thinking it. And in other news, Israel is protecting another child predator because Israel's got Israel or whatever. So, welcome back to Candace. All right, you guys, happy Monday to everyone except House and Habit, aka Jessica Reed Krause. She's a blogger, and she went on a rant last night. And finally, after 3 months of teasing, she revealed my deep, dark family secret. And I'm feeling very exposed at the moment, so we're going to talk about that. Also, Emmanuel Macron is back in Washington, D.C., And everybody's thinking the same thing, okay? I'm not going to say it, but you're thinking it, I'm thinking it. And in other news, Israel is protecting another child predator because Israel's got Israel or whatever. Welcome back to Candace. So Emmanuel Macron is back in Washington, D.C. And like I said, everybody is thinking the same thing. Everybody wants to ask the question. You can see it on their faces. Does she stand when she pees? So we know, does she stand when she pees? But no one has the courage to ask because I'm not there. One thing is definitely for certain. It looks like he is tired. We've definitely aged Emmanuel Macron. Look at these photos of him. He is going white. He's under a lot of pressure, likely from underneath his wife's extremely large hands. Bouf, bouf, Emmanuel. Zut alors. But he also might be stressed. I gotta tell you guys this, because of course it's probably not gonna make its way into Western media, but he's not having a very great press cycle. The couple is just not, they're in a bit of a press rut, you could say. I feel like the worst thing that could possibly happen after you gloriously drop a 200-page lawsuit to try to convince the world that you guys really are not perverts is for your wife's wife, to then get arrested and swept up in news, named as the suspect of having organized a pedophile ring in Africa. I kid you not. I kid you not. That is what is happening right now. Brigitte's cousin, a man named Pierre Roberts. I told you guys about him, I think, many moons ago. He was the nephew of the man who ran the Rotary Club with Brigitte's dad in Amiens. You know, Amiens' a weird place. It's a very special place, you guys. On the topic of pedophilia, there just seems to be a lot happening in Amiens. Anyways, her cousin Pierre, he's making headlines right now because he is swept up in this child sex trafficking ring that was going on in Africa. A very big ring, by the way, which included people intentionally inoculating victims with HIV, okay? So a couple days ago, they arrested this 40-year-old. His name is Adrian B., and they're questioning him. They've been working on this for months, and it turns out that Brigitte's cousin Pierre is suspected as the instigator of the entire network. Okay, he's suspected of having organized and ordered the rapes of disadvantaged youth in Senegal and in Morocco. He did this, they are alleging, both for his personal pleasure, but also because he wanted to make videos of the abuse and share it within his pedocriminal circles. Again, I'm not kidding. This is real. You can look this up in Le Parisien. You can look up Pierre Roberts. The affair has been exploding in France, and the network even includes people that are or were high up in the military. Last month, a former agent of the most confidential military unit in France got swept up in the affair. His name is Claude G. And it was allegedly he used military contacts to set up the system throughout African countries. Totally normal stuff, right? I mean, does everybody have a cousin? No, not everybody has a cousin, a friend, a business partner, a family member that is constantly involved in pedocriminality. This is why I cannot listen to anyone that is trying to dress up what is happening in France as like, oh, a podcaster, Candace is just attacking Brigitte. Ew, no, get out of my face, okay? We're not letting this go. And maybe there's a scenario we get to ask Brigitte under oath questions about her big her cuzzo or whatever. And by the way, now that we're speaking of Algeria and Morocco just keeps coming up all the time. Didn't Jean-Michel Trogneau sort of fall off the planet after he went down to Algeria and had this mysterious military file that they simply will not release to Xavier Poussard, even though they're required to release it? They've like locked down that file. Yeah, a lot of stuff is starting to add up. Like I said, you always hear Algeria, Morocco, Northern Africa. The point is that Emmanuel Macron is here. He looks stressed. Ostensibly, he's here because the leaders are coming together to find peace, right? Finally, everybody's coming to the table after 3 years of murdering young Ukrainian men. We decided now that it's peace. Peace is our aim. And I hope you guys are now recognizing this as we go through the Epstein files, as we look at everything in the background of these characters, as we talk about that hand of Midas that just pulls up these cast of characters. I hope we can now all agree that this is just theater. Okay, this is just what the elites do when their objectives have been reached. And what is their objective in Israel? Ethnic cleansing, right? They've gone masked down on that. What is the objective in Ukraine? That also appears to me to be a very obvious ethnic cleansing. And when they're done, when they're within, sight of their goals, they're like, it's time for peace. And then they applaud and they give somebody an award. Oh, it's the peace award. Now that we're done with our initiatives. So pay close attention to whoever it is that they move into Ukraine after peace is struck. Gaza, but now they've kind of told us, what we're doing there. This has kind of been the exact same script, at least since World War I, likely even before then. And I think we all recognize that the person that has the most power over all of our nations, because we have been somewhat globalized, at this moment is Bibi Netanyahu. Of course, he's the boss. He's the big boss, Bibi. And he's going to decide when and if and exactly at what moment these wars are going to be allowed to end. That's why I don't take any of this seriously. He holds the keys to the blackmail files, so to speak. That's why Israel always comes up in every story that you look at. By the way, like I said, I'm happy that they're at least done with the 2-year period of gaslighting us about Gaza. Like now Netanyahu's like, yeah, we're imperializing, we're going in there. It's always the same method. False flag attack justifies the war, and then there's this broader imperialist effort. And speaking of boss Bibi, color me not shocked at all. In case you missed this over the weekend, about a week ago, it was reported that the police in Las Vegas put together a sting operation. Now, these sting operations all work the same. Usually they are online, police officers posing as children, pretending that to see if there are adults that are trying to solicit sex from children on the web. They pretend that they're underage, that they're minors. And every time that they do this, everywhere, of course, they find sickos. There are always people that are looking for children. So sad that we live in this world. And this time they caught and subsequently arrested a total of 8 perverts who were interested in luring minors on the web. And it turned out that one of those individuals was an Israeli who happened to be in town for a conference. And he just couldn't, as soon as he got in town for the conference, starts looking on the web for a child. And that individual's name is Tom Artyom Alexandrovich. He has since deleted his LinkedIn profile. He's 39 years old. And of all things, you're not going to believe me. You're like, what does this guy do for a living? Well, he's a senior cyber official who works under Bibi Netanyahu's government. I'm not kidding. He is the division head at the National Cyber Directorate, which operates under Bibi's office. So this guy gets arrested, they book him at the Henderson Detention Center, and he makes bail. It was $10,000 of bail. But rather than await further charges, he does what they all do. He booked a flight back to Israel. Peace, can't get me. Not in a boo-boo, no way to stop this. And of course, he's welcomed back because that's what they do. Like that's like a policy. You do something to a child in America, just get up, pack up, and go to Israel. He hasn't even lost his job. The cyber director instead issued a public statement saying that, Tom was detained while he was in the U.S. for matters that were unrelated to his work, and that we'll agree to put him on leave temporarily until we get this matter clarified or whatever. They don't really sound particularly outraged. And we can, of course, assume he ain't coming back, okay? That's how this works. Israel and child sex predators, it's kind of a thing. It always has been. Hence, Epstein. Oh no, I can't believe I said that. I'm sorry. The Department of Justice has no idea if Epstein has ties to any other nations. They don't know. So how could we know if our Department of Justice doesn't know? Trump isn't going to demand that individual comes back and faces any charges because he couldn't even muster the strength to look America in the face and say, Epstein was working for Israel. If he can't do that, why would we expect he's going to do the other thing, right? And what makes the Epstein story even more incredulous is, of course, first and foremost, the fact that he was an open child predator, is the fact that he's been protected by so many countries, all of the leading countries, the United States, France, Israel, Ukraine, where he was running girls from. I mean, in case you don't remember the story of Virginia Giuffre, that story in and of itself was absolutely crazy. But again, these patterns are starting to emerge and we can recognize them.
It's making me feel very disgusting that I ever engaged in fashion, modeling, Hollywood. Like, I haven't engaged in it, but the fact that like all of us look at this culture of models and fashion and Hollywood, and we saw it through we were starry-eyed. Oh, amazing. Look at this fashion designer, the clothes they're making. Look at this beautiful model. Look at Hollywood. That entire pipeline, you realize it is starting. The picture that I'm seeing is that it's a ring. At least if you're looking up Jeffrey Epstein's story, there's no question about that. Anyways, Virginia, she was an American girl, as you guys know. She was born in Sacramento, California, but she grew up in Florida. The story goes that she was abused as a child by a family friend, and then she developed anorexia before running away from home. And as a runaway teenager, she's obviously the perfect, quote unquote, modeling type. So what happens next is she then gets discovered on the street by this guy, Ron Eppinger. If you want to go down a dark hole, the fact that that man is unbelievably protected by our government, but he's now dead. But he was the owner of a modeling agency, which turned out to just be another human trafficking front. The agency was called Perfect 10. He then makes Virginia his personal assistant, but, also gets her addicted to drugs. So she's 13 years old, just 13 years old. She becomes addicted to drugs, heroin, fentanyl, oxycodone, codeine, Vicodin, morphine, you name it. He was just pumping her filled with drugs. And then when she turns 14, he offers her to one of his wealthy clients. But then she gets lucky because the FBI swoops in and they arrest Ron for child prostitution and money laundering. Then she gets put into a treatment center in Lake Worth, Florida, which eventually had to close its doors because it was discovered that they were actually using these tactics of brainwash and torture and physical and sexual abuse on people that were trying to get clean. Somehow she makes it out of there with the help of her family members. And that's the next part of the story you may have heard. Her dad was working for Mar-a-Lago at the time. He then gets her a job working at Mar-a-Lago with him, except she's going to work as a masseuse. I want to be super clear here. Virginia, in all the testimony that she has given, has never once accused President Donald Trump of anything. She was working there because her dad was working there. That's the story that she told, and she was naming names, so I tend to believe that. But it is true that while she was working there, she was then approached by Ghislaine Maxwell, who offered her a better job working for a wealthier man who was always in need of a masseuse. Yes, of course, I'm speaking about Jeffrey Epstein. At that time, she was just 15, but she kept a journal. And she recorded that Jeffrey and Ghislaine wanted her to, quote, be able to meet all of the needs of the men that they were going to send me to. They wanted me to produce things about them in addition to sex. They told me to pay attention to the details of what these men wanted so that I could report back to them, end quote. Years later, in 2015, under a sworn testimony, she claims that her actions were intended to compromise and to potentially blackmail targeted individuals, powerful men, of course. And that Epstein had allegedly told her that it was about, quote unquote, having something on them, making them indebted so that those individuals would then be in his pocket, Israel's pocket. Oh, sorry, we don't know that for a fact. But don't worry, there's no client list, so there's nothing to see here. In fact, Israel, in case you missed it, is the most moral army in the world. Say it with me. The most moral country, the most moral army in the whole wide world. If they wanted, they could just drop a nuke and kill everybody in a day, and they haven't done that. So much morality. I am overdosing on morality. It's like too much morality for us to even look at. And yeah. So much morality that they have to now effectively gaslight us about it, which is what I feel like is happening right now. Even in terms of what I tell you guys, like ChatGPT is just trying to get rid of history. It's just so obvious. Like, it lies about everything. All of these AI, Grok, they lie. And then when you say, hey, I actually know this fact, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I missed that in Robert Maxwell's approved biography, like things like that. But they're also kind of trying to pretend that they don't know the history of the Star of David. This is another one of these points that are being gaslit about. This is why I'm reading so many books, because I'm recognizing that it's very weird. The fact that you have people that are running around wearing the Star of David and they have no idea what the history of that symbol is stunning to me. And I'm not even pointing the finger here because I was very ignorant for a very long time. You guys know I was a Zionist. I worked for PragerU. I had no idea because we are just fed slop through the public education system, printing books that, Robert Maxwell had a stake in at one point, right? They're not even trying to hide that fact anymore, that the Star of David has nothing to do with biblical Judaism. So I am challenging you all to get educated about that. You could even look on Wikipedia. We showed you Wikipedia early on to make sure it had a Zionist bent. Even so, they tell the truth. They tell the truth on Wikipedia that the Star of David began being associated with Judaism in the 17th century. Okay, can you pull that up, Skylar? And it tells you right there. It's a derivative of the Seal of Solomon, which was used for decoration and mystical purposes by Kabbalistic Jews and Muslims. Okay, people that worshipped the Kabbalah. It is a hexagram. It says its association as a distinctive symbol for Jewish people and their religion dates to the 17th century Prague. Okay, 17th century. That's very recent relative, right? That's actually quite recent, 17th century. And what happened, why that's actually super crucial, you can't wipe this away. Yeah, it's all about the Kabbalah, is that there was a man who said that he was this reincarnated. He declared himself to be the long-awaited Jewish Messiah. This begins this period I've been telling you guys about that you have to learn about Sabbatianism. And he says, I'm the Jewish Messiah. And people believed him. Actually, at that time, according to an Israeli historian, Gershom Scholem, half of the world's Jews in Europe converted and followed him, right? He was a Kabbalist. And they followed him, believing that it was true, that he was the Messiah, until he did this thing where they went, okay, maybe he's just crazy. He apostatized. He converted to Islam. Okay, so you have this guy who's practicing the occult. He's practicing the Kabbalah. He says, I'm the Messiah. You have a bunch of people who believe him. But then many of them became disillusioned when he said, okay, never mind, to save his life, I'm converting to Islam. And this is a part of it. Like a part of this effort is he's teaching people that you got to be a gypsy. You got to become whatever you have to become to be able to amass power. Essentially, what I'm talking about here is theater. You got to be a theater boy. You got to lead people to believe you and to follow you. And this could explain, by the way, he did this in the year 1666. That, of course, also has significance, the 666. In 1666 is when this happened. And this kind of could maybe explain why it is. This is another part of history they're trying to wipe away. That the Moroccan flag had the Star of David. They could tell you it's Jewish. Oh, really? Was Morocco a Jewish country? The Star of David. And you can see that, and this is still the dynasty that controls Morocco, where Morocco just keeps coming up in all of this, right? The Alawite dynasty, don't get me started on, the Sunni, the Shiites, the Alawites, which is pretty micro relative to what's happening. But look at the year that they take over in Morocco, 1666. They believe in reincarnation, which is unusual in terms of the Muslim faith. And you can see that they then mint the Star of David as their flag. Okay, that was the flag of Morocco from 1795 through to 1915. And people don't know that. Like, people are stunned when I say that. That has occult significance. So I am not shocked that Morocco just keeps coming up in all of these stories. You have to start there. Start in that period of 1666 if you really want to know what's going on. You don't even have to know what's going on, right? It just all starts to make sense when you see these stories happening, when you understand what they did, like sort of violating these laws to show the world that there are no laws. Like, you can sleep with your cousin, your brother, your niece. It doesn't matter, old, young. This was a part of the initiation practice. This is all real. This is history. You have it at your fingertips, and you better grab it. You genuinely better go pursue that history before they get rid of it, because that's the goal. That's like the final stop. And that's why we're reading so many of these books. We're learning about the origin of all of this. We're learning about this period of time they'd rather us really not know, because then you start to realize that you're being gaslit and that these people have been powerful for a very long time. But the only way that we're going to win at all is if people start getting properly educated and we all rinse ourselves of our public school understanding of all of these things. Like my husband says, everything is theology. Everything is theology. So you'll be less shocked when something like that happens. When Jeffrey Epstein, everyone goes, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. It's totally fine." Or like Brigitte's cousin, "Oh, I don't know why that keeps happening around me." It'll start to make more sense when you understand the theology that's guiding everything. And that's all I'm going to say about that before I get to me having been exposed. Big way, shocked, crazy. First, I want to remind you guys about Preborn because every heartbeat tells a story. And at Preborn, they give moms in crisis the chance to hear that heartbeat for free. That's exactly why I partner with Preborn, because Preborn isn't out to judge women. They're making motherhood possible for them. Provide free ultrasounds. They share the gospel of Jesus Christ. And most importantly, they stay after the baby is born with real practical support by giving expecting mothers diapers, baby clothes, even housing and financial help for up to 2 years after the baby is born. That's what true Christ-centered compassion looks like. And here's how you can be a part of it. For just $28, you can give a mom a free...
Everybody will pay hundreds.
Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Monica says, so I was feeling that something is materializing for you in your reality, but it might not, like you might not be aware of it, or it might not be what you expect, or actually how you expect. I feel like it's kind of what you expect, like it is what you expect, it's just not how you expect, okay? So there's some kind of like journey towards something. Maybe it wasn't what you were expecting, actually. I feel like you're reaching the end point, actually, of some kind of journey. But the end point is the beginning of a new journey, right? So you're reaching an end point and starting a new one. And I feel like this is something that you have thought about recently a lot. This is like a situation that you kept replaying in your mind over and over and over again. I feel like I don't know, it's almost like the journey in and of itself seemed like it was moving you away from the thing, but in actuality it was leading you right to it, okay? And I'm not saying this is something that you were running away from, maybe sometimes, or something that you didn't want, maybe sometimes, but I feel like this is something that you really wanted, maybe at some point gave up on, or something like that, okay? Let's see what's happening. So something is materializing for you, it's really just not how you expect. I'm also getting something about it's not where you expect, or something like that, okay? Like, there's something about the 3D aspect, or like the situation surrounding your manifestation being a little bit like strange, like, interesting, you know? Like, unexpected and like, yeah, like, what? Okay. 3 of Cups. The 3 of Cups. So you know what I feel like is hand in hand. This is some kind of like sure celebration, whatever, but you know what this 3 of Cups is talking to me about? It's giving me some kind of like, it's almost like a pyramid energy. It's giving me something about like a good not just a good foundation, but a good structure, I guess. Like a good, this is giving me, it's like how they say not nuclear family, but like well, actually they say the nuclear family is the strongest. I disagree. I would say like the 3-person family, or whatever, is the strongest. You know, like the pyramid, right? What am I feeling here? This is interesting because it's almost like, because like all of a sudden it's kind of like I'm in the situation. You understand? Like all of a sudden I'm in a situation that I was kind of expecting, but maybe not completely. And what I'm feeling is a lot of structure actually with this 3 of Cups. I'm feeling maybe the structure, maybe I am experiencing some kind of love, or some kind of celebration, some kind of acceptance, or something like that as structure. But that is what's happening. So it's like an immediate shift that's going to be happening. Okay, you're going to be finding yourself in this situation almost immediately. Yes, So what is this Three of Cups? There's something there. I also feel like there's something about like a threefold filtration system. I'm getting that show, The Three Body Problem from Netflix. I haven't watched it yet, but I really want to, okay? So it's like a three body filtration system. Like, how can I say this? I'm even being told like the part of like this unexpectedness is some kind of like secrecy or hiddenness surrounding your situation, surrounding you. It's like an inside joke kind of vibe. It's like I don't know, just the three of us, but it's kind of like it's one and then two. I've expressed this before. It's one, two, the other person, and then three, like which is the relationship, or which is the experience, or which is the matrix. You understand? Like God, the Son, and then the Holy Spirit. You understand? Something like that. So again, it's like not at all what you were expecting or something, but you're going to be finding yourself in the situation immediately. Again, like there's something about like maybe I feel like you're being triggered a lot actually, because maybe that's what this Three of Cups is triggering within me. It's this idea of like third party situations and shit like that. But again, I'm not really feeling that. I'm feeling the trigger, sure, but I'm more feeling the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit kind of energy. You get what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3. You know? Also, on a side note, for a lot of you, you're actually like running from your own triggers or something without noticing it, okay? At some point here. But like, don't make this fit into any type of situation. Like, this is obviously something that you wanted, once again, okay? Let's get the last 3 cards. The Nine of Pentacles. So this might not necessarily be like a relationship, okay? I mean, it could be a friend, but that's again what I'm saying. This Nine of Pentacles is giving me that like, it's not singular per se. I mean, it's abundant and all wishes fulfilled, and it's like yes, but it's this energy of like us against the world. You know, it's like. We have our own inside joke, or like you and your situation, maybe you and your business even. It's like you and your business, you know, and it's like, I don't know, like that seems a bit lonely, but whatever. but either you get what I'm saying, like you get what I'm saying. I feel like even the fact that you are being triggered by something or by a certain situation might be unexpected to you. Because either it should have been perfect or seemingly perfect. Not that, like, what am I trying to say here? Like, it's this energy of, it could actually be something that triggers you, that like is your manifestation or something like that, okay? This also feels like a very profound celebration of self, because ultimately, you know, the God, the Son, and the Holy Ghost is one as well, you know. But like everything is one, but yet here we still are. That's what that Three of Cups is signifying. Like, yes, we are all one, but it's also just me, you know, but at least we're here together. You get what I'm saying? Very interesting. So I feel like I don't know exactly what's gonna happen, quite honestly. I feel like I shouldn't be ruminating on like like the details of it, which is kind of like a surprise, I guess. But like I feel like I just need to help you navigate the energy of sometimes being triggered or not trusting, or I mean, because I like look, the Three of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles, but I'm feeling the smidgen of like which is why, I mean, we'll see now why. Maybe it shows in the cards, but like I already told you what that is, you know. Ultimately, it's your own creation, blah, blah, blah. The Four of Wands. Four of Pentacles.
Welcome to Intuitive Astrology with Molly McCord. Thank you so much for joining me today.
I want to take you somewhere so you know I don't care. But it's so cold, I know where. I brought you daffodils on pretty strings, but they won't flower like leader sting. I wanna kiss you, make you feel alright. I just wanna try to share the nights. I wanna cry and I wanna love. All my tears haven't been used up. All another love. All my tears have been used up. All my tears have been used up. All another love. All another love. All my tears have used me up. Oh, another love. Another love. All my tears have been used up. Used up. Oh, 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 oh. I suppose somebody hurts you. I wanna fight, but my hands broken too. How many times? So I'll use my voice, and so I'll use my voice. I'll be so fucking rude, and words, they always win. I will lose. Oh my God. Will you? I don't know. Vama Gila Gila, welcome to the show with me. I want to thank you for joining me. Yeah. I'm here. I am here. Thank you very much for hanging in there, because you are so beautiful to me. Can't you see? And so it's a late night in South Africa, and I want you to say you can be so beautiful to me. I suppose you can. But I don't think. Let's talk about the day's actions. Okay, it's 24 hours. It's been 24 hours. And let's talk about the you know that ooze that oozes out of her tree, in the cherry tree. Yeah. That which is amber. We call that color. And she wants to make something beautiful out of that amber, but she can't. because she's got nothing. She's really got nothing. And she's waiting for me. She's waiting for me. She's waiting for me to start the story. And she's like blank. Nothing. Fuck all. She got fuck all. She got nothing. Oh, another love. Another love. Yes. Why didn't you just tell us? Why didn't you just tell us? Yeah. Because she can't. Because she's so rude. Because she's so unlikely. Because she's so unworthy. Because she's so unwelcome. She's so unwelcome. If there's anyone that could be so unwelcome as Team Roses, as she poses, so luckily, so happily, so friendly, so as if the world stopped, as if Earth stopped moving, and we looked up at the sky, and we looked up at this beautiful rays of sun. Yes, it was so amazing. Ah, isn't it just? And then look at the tree. Oh, the tree. Oh, that tree has some mercy. It has some sap. And the tree is oozing out its life. But we must see. I mean, the tree is its actual life is dripping out of the tree, and we must feel sorry. Yes, we must amalgamate together, because this little bubble is about to not explode. No, fuck you. You think it's going to explode. It's not going to explode. It's not going to fucking explode. It's just like a bubble. It's like, and then it's going to implode. It's so fucking boring. It's so fucking lasty. Do you want me to speak in an American accent? No, I don't think so. I didn't think you would want me to hear sounding like an old American dear. No. I've been thinking seriously. There's the sap. It's coming down from the tree. Do-da. Yeah, come. I want to take you somewhere. You know I don't care. But it's so cold, and I know where. I brought you daffodils, and you pretty string. But they won't flower like they did last spring. And I want to kiss you, and I want to make you feel all right. And I want to, I just want to try it. I feel like it's to share my nights. I want to cry, I want to love, but all my tears have been used up. On another love, another love. All my tears have been used up. On another love, on another love. All my tears have been used up on another love, on another love. All my tears have been used up on another love, on another love. All my tears have been used up on another love, on another love. All my tears have been used up. Oh, 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 oh. If somebody hurts, I want to fight. But my hands have been broken one too many times, so I'll use my voice. I've been so fucking rude, so fucking rude. Words, they always win. But I will know it's I will lose. I will fucking lose. And I'd sing a song that be yours or ours. But I sang him on to all another heart. And I wanna cry, I wanna learn to love, but all my tears have all been used up on another love, another love. All my tears have been used up on another love, another love. All my tears have all been used up, so I'll use my voice. I'll be so fucking rude. My words, all the things, always win. I know. I'll lose. All I love, all I'd sing a song or so be just ours. But I sing them all to another heart. And I want to cry. And I want to learn to love. But all my tears, I have been used up. All another love, another love. All my tears have been used up on another love, another love. All my tears have been used up on another motherfucking love, another love. All my tears have been used up. Oh, 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 I need another love now. Oh, 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 my heart is thinking of. I want to sing a song that'd be just ours. But I sang him all to another love, to another heart. I want to cry, I want to fall in love. But all my tears and all my fears have been used up on another love, another love. All my tears have been used up on another love, on another love. All my tears have been used up on another love, on another love. All my tears have been used up on another love, on another love. All my tears have been used up on another love, on another